TTC, Dolphignition, with crow number 5 of the season. I really thought this was going to be a win for us. That would shock the world. I really thought that we'd be completely scary going into next week. Stay tuned for my hate week next week. I really thought after beating the Rams, the Eagles, the Patriots, the 49ers, we'd officially be Super Bowl contending slayers. Today, after yesterday with the Florida Gators losing 24-27 to LSU, the University of Miami getting completely annihilated, 26-62. Yeah, I think that was the score. And last but not least, us being shown examples once again to the dynamic Chiefs, as we probably could have had this game in the bag. But Tua, still the young grasshopper in the roughest atmosphere in the USA we call the National Football League, continues making rookie mistakes that were the edge against us battling the current reigning Super Bowl champions. That showed that this was just not a great weekend for Florida football. Well, at least the Seminoles 56-35 Duke. If they say everybody plays the fool, I guess I get an Oscar for that role, thinking we'd show the world that we're more dynamic than meets the eye. I've argued with Chiefs fans that all that has to happen is for Tua to click with the offense. And unfortunately, that just wasn't enough of that case this game. It's rather funny how different this season is. In the past, our defense did not give our offense any favors. This season, it seems to be the opposite. Though our offense wasn't completely terrible, because you got to give them credit for that fight they put in the fourth quarter to try to get back in the game, get the game back in the favor somewhat. But it sure as hell didn't do our defense much favors. There were numerous tosses Tua threw that were spot on, I will admit, that our receivers just couldn't hold possession of the ball more successfully. And Tua just needs a bit more experience. And now to add insult to injury, no pun intended, Mike Gesicki got escorted out of the game with an injury to his hand or wrist that probably may need a week of curing to make it better. And that could also mean that he may sit out next game. And that's not good, as he has been dynamic this season. It's really frustrating how we look so promising at the first half of the game with how incredible our defense has looked, and how we've opened against Mahomes with a shell-shocking, alarming start for Andy Reid's men. But after we allowed them to complete 2 touchdowns, one with an incredible throw to Hill from you-know-who, the other allowing a pathway to be cleared for Hardman to complete 67 yards rush to the touchdown just after the punt, all of a sudden, our mojo gets thrown out the window. I've seen it happen before with my Dolphins, and it seems like that Mr. Hyde within is fighting with the Dr. Jekyll side of our franchise to keep that Dolphin side of us sadly alive, even though we look competitive enough to take one of the wild card spots. And these next 3 games are not going to be easy. We've got our second meet with the Patriots, a team that's scary when the pressure is extremely against them in the hunt for the playoffs. Next, we have the Las Vegas Raiders, 2 of the most suspect teams next to the Ravens. No offense, Cold Raven. Yet we've been known to make suspect teams look more dynamic than they should, mind us. We're going to their house as well, And Derek Carr will be damned if he doesn't retire from the NFL without a taste of the playoffs. And then finally, we've got the Buffalo Bills, our divisional rival, looking forward to claim the top spot of our division, who swept us these last 2 seasons, and unless Tua and the offense and the receivers could start improving, could sweep us again for the 3rd season in a row. It's looking to me like if we want to grab that wild card spot, we may need a dose of Fitzmagic along the way. But one thing is for sure, even when we were down 10-30, this team, our coaches, and especially us Dolphins, aren't giving up yet. Because one thing to know about us is that we don't give a fuck how heavy the odds are against us. Because we stop caring the only time we stop caring is the month after our marathon is over. We're in the hunt for that wild card spot. Not because of luck, not because our opponent had a bad day, or the hard easiness of scheduling. And for the record, our schedule was tough and we still nearly swept the NFC West with the suspect Seahawks. With the Seahawks that looked great in the first half, suspect in the second half, that was in our way. But because our defense, our weapons for our quarterback, our kicker giving opponents no room to breathe, and our coach disciplining us as we are one of the top 5, if I'm not mistaken, top 3 teams with less penalties given to us. We're in the hunt for the playoffs because we're better than you think. And even if we don't make the playoffs, mark my words, we are not one and done. We are one and just getting started compared to our next opponents. And plus, with the pandemic lowering audience counts in our stadium, even if we don't make the playoffs, this is the perfect season to suck or blow it. Because, especially for us, if we don't make it this year, we'll certainly make it next year. And Hard Rock Stadium will be making noise like you've never heard it before. I would say congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs and their fans. Andy Rod 421, DeQuavis, Zay, Casey Kidd 1992, Barrett Lowe Show, and yes, even the guy who got exposed in the Master at Night live stream, Karen Ball Fortnite, you too. I would all congratulate you, but you've probably heard congratulations too many times, and you just want the playoffs to begin already. And quite frankly, the way you looked against us, I can't blame you. While majority of the fans can talk about their own team and how badly they've shot themselves in the foot after holding the L, watching this game from start to finish and doing my satanic 5 fingers crossed while my eyes were glued to the television, the Chiefs showing just how fucking amazing they are was the bigger, top number 1 reason, ground zero, why we've lost. I could argue about mistakes left, right, and center, but Bieniemy and Reed read us, played well against us. And to the fans of the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Raiders fans that's watching this video and disgust because I'm just one of the many people complimenting the Chiefs with humble pie, believe me, I feel your pain. when people had to crow to the Patriots. I've suffered 2 decades, let alone my entire fucking childhood, with my team in the shadow of that franchise's dominance. But Kansas City struck gold. Mahomes is too damn good of a quarterback that we've started loving to hate. Although I've never really hated that guy. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. And they've been well trained. I believe with this, if I'm not mistaken, I believe with this win, you've now locked yourself a ticket into the playoffs. So, good job. Question is, whether you get top seed or not is up to you and Pittsburgh. But from what I've been hearing from Steeler Nation's criticisms, it's looking to me like for the second time in a row, the men in red and white, provided no real good player getting injured, nor the pandemic affecting them too much, could be the ones. Just take it one opponent at a time, not overlooking the next opponent, and like Mahomes said at the end of the last Super Bowl, finish the game. And that's all I have to say for this game. It's always and forever fins up. And I'll end this crow with a reply to Tyson, the Schadenfreude at work. I heard you have a bet proposal for me for this Sunday's next game. Type that bet either in the comments section or feel free to ping me in the Trash Talk City Discord, which I'll link into the description below, what bet you've got for me, and I'll see if I'll take it or not. With Gesicki gone, possibly not going to be present this next game, this one may be a thinker. But I'm ready. But I'll tell you this though, I'm ready for Sunday. I'm ready for Sunday. Stay tuned for my hate week against the Patriots. This is Dolphignition, breaching out.